Since the financial crisis of 2008, we've seen wave after wave of new banking regulations.
These are absolutely far-reaching reforms, and I think in the modern history of UK banking, if reforms of this kind were implemented, now that's not a question for us, that's going to be a question for government and Parliament, I think these could be absolutely transformative. We think it would enormously reduce both the chance and the scope that taxpayer support would ever again be needed. I can't say to you, honestly, there will never, ever be a need for taxpayer support.
This has been an unprecedented era of change. I think all of us have struggled to keep up to date with the degree of change which is affecting us.
Deloitte offers a considered and unbiased understanding of these new regulations, verifying information and guiding clients through the complexities.
There are two big pillars of regulatory change. One is dampening procyclicality, which is ups and downs of the credit cycle. And to do that, there has been new measures like the leverage ratio, measure on liquidity. There are new standards around impairments, expected loss provisioning, coupled with more debate on too big to fail, and obviously remuneration.
Deloitte has hired people from a regulatory background to bring depth and breadth of understanding. It provides an invaluable dimension and greater insight for clients.
In this area of risk and regulation, we are perhaps the biggest. We have hired previous regulators to be part of our teams to educate us what it means and what is the current thinking.
Deloitte has established its own Centre for Regulatory Strategy.
There is an enormous amount of regulatory change happening at the moment. That in some ways is a reflection of the range of circumstances that individual firms are going through and the extent of the stresses of the macroeconomic environment. But it's difficult to keep on top of what's happening, and people need to have a strategic grasp of what's going to occur in the future.
When regulation goes to the heart of firms' strategies, their business models, for example, questions about universal banking, structure, ring fencing, or indeed long-term return on equity, then that makes it a strategic issue.
As an ex-regulator, what are your immediate thoughts on the future of UK banking?
The intention from the regulators is to embed some of the changes that have happened recently as a result of commercial pressures into the environment for the medium term, for when the good times return and memories start to go. How far that's going to happen is a different matter.
I think it's essential. I think everyone, Deloitte, its clients, regulators around the world have to recognise that the game has changed.
Deloitte ensures it responds to regulators in defining new regulation.
We are consulted and then we respond appropriately as an unbiased, independent body. We do take into consideration what our clients are thinking about regulation, so the regulators in finalising their rules have a pretty comprehensive, holistic view from Deloitte. And we listen, we help them understand some of the difficulties which the new regulation will bring on their business. And we also look forward and help them identify ways of dealing with this to ensure that their profitability is sustained.
Getting it at the right level is key, but I think firms that have got strong capital, good liquidity, clear governance and a clear strategy will find opportunities and they will prosper.
Deloitte, deciphering new banking regulations and enabling clients to be strategic and forward-thinking.